a World War II satire that follows a lonely German boy named Jojo, who is aided by his idiotic imaginary friend Adolf Hitler. We are here to talk about Taika Waititi's latest project, Jojo Rabbit. I'm joined with Theo, Lindsay. Let's get into the review.
I don't think I can do this.
Was? Of course you can.
As mentioned, we're talking about Taika Waititi's latest project, a director we're really excited about. Me, Theo, and a couple other hosts are going to be talking about Taika Waititi's filmography here in a little bit, but we're also joined by Lindsay. So, Lindsay, just overall thoughts on the film, Jojo Rabbit.
I really, really liked it. I thought it was very sweet, and it was funny, but really sweet and sad, and I liked it a lot. I like Taika's work overall. I just like that his humor is so consistent between all of his movies, even when the plot of the movies are so vastly different. You can still feel his humor, and I thought he made it work really well in Jojo Rabbit.
Theo, what are your general thoughts on this film?
I definitely have to say I think that it seems to match, it matches his latest projects really well in terms of kind of just the production value and the scale, which I really liked. And I'm not as hot on this movie as some other people are, but I do think that it is worth watching, and I am fond of a lot of parts of it.
I definitely have seen a lot of people that love this a ton, and I'm really glad they love it. We were going to have Margot on here.
I thought Jojo Rabbit was good.
Unfortunately, time conflicts. I can't wait to hear more of her thoughts on it. However, there's definitely a ton of great Taika stuff here. In terms of humor, really no surprise. Taika's a genius when it comes to comedy, but it's some of his best humor he's ever had. I think in this movie, individual jokes that, I won't go into, just had me rolling. It really could have been I think this was Taika's hardest movie script-wise, and he really ends up putting something together here that's really special. I don't think it's his best project, but I mean that as a compliment. It's like when I say, it's not my favorite Villeneuve film. He only makes great films. So when I'm talking about that, it's my second least favorite Taika film, but I mean, that's still a great, enjoyable movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Then I guess I'll just throw out favorite aspects. I actually really loved that Taika sort of went back to his sensibilities in Eagle vs. Shark. I thought there was a ton of influence here from that project in the way he directed things. And that's not to say his other projects haven't felt like that. I also think there's a lot of boy here in a really interesting way. Another thing that I thought was really cool is there's a lot of unique symbolism that I think was used really well in an effective way from Taika. I do think it's interesting because I don't know what it is. This isn't to say this project is weak by any means, but I don't know how to word this, but it's almost like Taika took such a degree of difficulty that I don't know. Something was just missing. Because there was a lot there plot-wise, and I think this is his boldest thing he's done, and he's dealing with a lot of different emotions. So I think in doing so, it complicated some things. I'm saying a minor thing because I still really like this movie, but it complicated some things a little bit, I will say. But Lindsay, what are some of your favorite aspects?
I actually agree with you that it didn't it's not one of my favorites of his. And it's not one of my favorites of the year, even though I did enjoy it a lot. I do think that it had a lot of problems. But I just thought it was so charming that I kind of didn't care about the problems.
That makes sense.
I really, really liked the ending a lot, though. That was probably my favorite moment. The soundtrack was so great, yeah. I really liked the ending a lot. So I think that's why I was more positive on it, because even though I had problems throughout, I thought it ended pretty strongly.
I was really surprised from the performance that Thomasin McKenzie was able to give here too. She got a lot of buzz. I don't know if you guys saw the film Leave No Trace, but she's really solid in there.
She kind of looks like female Timothy Chalamet.
Whoa!
Do you see it?
I do. I'm looking at the picture now.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think she's very. I completely understand if someone disagrees with me, but she should give some acting lessons to Scarlett Johansson. Scarlet wasn't like bad
I thought-
for me. I think it was just blown away by how
Well,
good
I was going to
Mackenzie
say
Yeah.
one scene in particular stood out to me as Scarlett Johansson being a little bit hokey in a scene that really needed
Oh,
good
interesting.
acting. And that Scarlett
Okay.
Johansson's given great performances, but
Yeah, she has, but I agree
Definitely.
that she wasn't that. I don't know, because I heard like Oscar buzz like from Scarlett Johansson for this movie and for the.
Yeah, I did.
So
yeah.
that brings me into
Oh.
a good point. We're sort of getting into awards season. So I guess starting the discussion, what do you guys think this film will at all have a chance of being nominated for, or if it may even have a chance at winning anything?
I think original screenplay.
Oh yes. So yeah, I
Yeah.
completely agree with screenplay. I think it'll have a really decent chance to get up there.
Mhm.
I also think because of how controversial it is inherently, I think Taika really doesn't have a chance here supporting wise, but I think he actually brings a really great performance in Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
In one that could definitely come across like that could end the movie very quickly if it's not done in the way that only few people that have like his comedic charm are able to do.
Yeah, I thought he was great.
I
I
think
don't.
this
Yeah,
also maybe has a chance. I mean, I have to see what period dramas are coming out in the winter. But I actually really like the costume design too.
Keira Knightley heard period drama and shows up on this podcast.
yeah. I mean, Rocket Man is gonna win costume design, so it doesn't matter.
I forgot. Yeah, it's not even a competition.
It's not
It
a
was wrapped
competition.
up a while ago.
I think definitely I would agree. I would say if there's one thing that stands out for this, I would say screenplay is it's very brave, and I kind of commend it for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
only thing I can think of that where I'm like that should get a nomination.
For sure.
Oh.
Yeah, I was very surprised because I know, like Lindsay mentioned, and obviously I brought up, I'm curious to know what people sort of started like, oh, hey, this is Taika's Oscar buzz time. Because again, I understand because it's like, oh, hey, war source material and Oscars eat up like that era period drama. But it's like, this is a very different movie to those that typically like are even brought up.
Yeah. Well, it won People's Choice at TIFF, and normally whatever wins that award gets nominated, or at least it has in the past like couple years. It'll get nominated for Best Picture. So
Interesting.
when it won that, that's when everyone was like, "Oh, is this actually an Oscar contender now?" But after
I bet what some of it
seeing
was Taika there in Toronto.
I don't know actually.
I see.
Because I
yeah.
bet it's very easy. Like if I ever met Taika Waititi, I would immediately be like, I don't care what film he released. I want it to win everything.
Yeah, like Green Book
Right.
won People's Choice at TIFF last year, and then it won Best
Oh,
Picture.
Well, people just don't know what they
Did
want.
they get to meet Vigo?
I
Because
That would be
I would
pretty
not have
cool.
been swayed.
Yeah. Oh,
with,
really?
with the chicken bucket.
Oh my god.
But yeah, since we're talking about Green Book, we're gonna hit overall grades.
Nothing makes sense anymore.
Yeah, I know, it's definitely not a good time to be a Nazi.
Lindsay, what would you give it?
Out of 10,
Yes.
I'm gonna say 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Nice. Theo, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this film?
So I please ignore me because
Oh my god.
I don't know if either of you guys saw what I put out, but I would not share this score with other people. But since you asked, I gave it a 3 out of 10.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that you. Okay.
I think that is like I was looking upon what other people were saying, and I think it seems like a lot of people have the same qualms about this movie that I have, and it just seemed like I was maybe not able to get past them in a way that other people were able to. So I say I gave it a 3 out of 10, but I say if it has amazing like production and set and environment, and it is like a very beautiful movie in a lot of ways. So I would recommend it to someone who like places more importance on, I suppose, like that aspect. So yeah, I would say, yeah, I would say, yeah.
Wait, could I interject real quick?
Definitely.
I think part of the important thing here too is to understand Theo's recommendation or Theo's rating system. No, I don't mean that as a
No,
joke
I
because
know.
I started the same way as I'm sure some people are probably reacting, being like, wait, JoJo's a film I love. Why is he giving it a 3 out of 10? Theo actually loves all movies. He's differentiating because he only has different levels of loving movies and then saves one place for a 1 out of 10 for films he actually hates.
That's true.
Um,
That's true. Actually, yeah.
So when he's saying a 3 out of 10, he's still like, obviously you've listened to the review. He's still very high on it. So just backing
It is
the bud.
I do think it's a good movie, and I think would Taika have tackled another topic, I think I would have enjoyed it more. I think
Interesting. Yeah.
the execution of its message, which I think we'll talk about later in the spoiler discussion, I was reserved about, and so I wasn't able to love it as much as
Okay.
I absolutely love his other works, by the way. Like I'm a really big fan of his. But anyways, yeah. So that's where I stand on this movie.
Gotcha. I side about the same with Lindsay. I think I'd probably give it like a 7.6 out of 10. It leans a little bit to the 8 territory, just because of so many shrinks that are in here. It has some of the best. Actually, tell you what, I'll go 7.8. I'm actually going to change that. Scratch
cool.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. There's just something that leans almost to giving it to an 8. I think Taika does some really brilliant stuff here that can't be undermined. But that's going to be our review for Jojo Rabbit. Make sure to check out our other video if you have seen the film about Jojo Rabbit spoilers. If you guys want to check out other reviews we've done, we just did one of The Lighthouse, Parasite, a bunch of other films. You can check those out. It'll be linked right next to this video that's playing right now. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Bye.